Some roll downs. So leading with the shoulders, bending in the spine, more bend in the legs if you want to protect the back, chest up and stand upright. So flat back coming up, so rolling down, mobilizing the spine, creating space between each vertebrae, bend the knees, chest up, then stand. It's a lot safer for the back. Relax the neck, coming down. Another 5 like that. Morning. That's all right. One more. Good. Hands next to your ears, elbows behind you, pushing the hips back, small bend in the knee, weight in the heels, squeeze the bum cheeks coming up. We're looking for 12 to 15. You'll feel a little bit of a burning sensation in your lower back. Hopefully keep the spine nice and neutral or flat, not curving at all, keeping that chest up. You should feel the tension in those muscles next to the spine and the lower parts of the back. Just go over as far as feels comfortable for you. You should be feeling a stretch in the back of the hamstrings and the back of the legs. Good. Another 3, and then we're going to bring in a rotation. 2, weight in the heel, stick that bum back more if you've not got the body weight in the heel, if it's in the toes. Ankles, knees and hips are in alignment. Now we're going to come up and twist over to the left for a nice stretch, and coming down again, and then up, over to the right, looking behind you. Keeping them shoulders back, so you've got a P in between your shoulder blades that you want to squeeze. Inhale, coming down to lengthen. Exhale, squeezing the bum cheeks on the rise. Another 4. We're not bending in the back at all, we're just moving at the hips. Another 2. Lots of big muscles being used. Good. Going to start with lateral leg lift. As far up as you can, slowly down. 1 second up, 2 seconds down, controlled. Weight is in the stabilizing leg with a small bend in the knee as you strengthen the knee and the ankle. Looking for 15 to 20. And it's normal to feel a burning sensation on the side of the glute here. Just try and ignore that as much as you can, but if you need to come in and out and shake it off, that's absolutely fine. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to come into tree pose. So you can have your hands out to help with balance. This is your starting position. I'm going to push that knee out, squeezing the bum cheeks together to externally rotate the knee, femur. If that feels okay in your balance, chest proud, engaging those abdominals, you can go ahead and bring it up just below the knee. Deep breaths. If that feels okay and you're balanced, you can go above the knee. See how that feels. So you're pushing your stabilizing leg against your foot, not your foot against the stabilizing leg. Squeezing them bum cheeks, keeping that knee pushed out to the side. It's a bit of a piriformis work as well. If you're balanced, come hands to prayer, deep breaths. 1 more breath, while knees falling down. And release. Good. Semicircles, looking for 20. Bit more of a bend in that knee, stabilizing leg. Without touching the floor is the progression of this, or you can touch the floor either sides to regain balance. Ooh, a bit unstable. 8. 12. 12, and shake off as much as you need to when it starts to burn too much. You might notice as well, you're feeling this as well, it might be your glutes, or it might be your thigh, or it could be around your ankles, where your weaknesses are. Another 3, 2, 1. Well done, shake off. Whew. Over to the other side next. So soft knee, lateral leg lift. Pause at the top to make it more difficult. Make sure you're not leaning all over to one side, you're upright. Core's engaged. Let's get that oxygen in there. See how we do on this side. Trying to keep the hips as still as possible, just your leg moving. Number 5. 2. One more. Let's test out the tree pose in this position. So soft knee, pushing that knee out to the side by squeezing your bum cheeks on. If that feels okay, come underneath your knee. Bring your arms out to the side to help with balance. Stay here if you're struggling with balance, or if you want to progress it, come further up. Deep breaths. Ooh. Hands to prayer. One more breath. Keep them bum cheeks squeezed and clenched on to bring that knee out to the side. Good. Opens up the hips nicely. And release. Excellent. Semicircles, 20. 20 we're looking for. Peekaboo. I see ya. Oh dear. Another 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to be on the mat next. Bit of piriformis work, which sits underneath the glutes, underneath the bum cheeks, can cause a lot of back pain. And pinching on the sciatic nerve when there's an issue there. Okay, so we're going to be on our sides. Bending the knees, clamshells 20. Squeeze at the top, the bum cheeks to externally bring that knee out to the side. Make sure your hips are stacked on top of each other, and so is your knees and your ankles when they come together. The more you squeeze them bum cheeks together, the more you're going to bring that knee up. Pause at the top. You know what to do, don't you? Another 5, 4, 2, 1. Good. Lateral leg raises. So this is your starting position. You're not going any lower than this. From here, as far up as you can. Make sure your knees faced forward as well. What a nice tune. As many as you can, or 15 to 20. Yeah. Notice where you're feeling this, because I have a weakness in my piriformis. I can feel my piriformis here. A bit of a deep ache in the glute around the hip. It's quite hard to pinpoint when you do have an issue. Another 5. 2. One more, and rest. Rub that off. We're going to isolate the piriformis as much as we can next. So a bit external rotate, then the foot comes higher than the knee, then we even it out, then forward sweep. All without bringing the knee back down. So external, internal, forward. Again, hips stay stacked. Notice how this feels and where you're feeling it. If you're fatiguing and finding this quite difficult, it can mean a weakness in the piriformis and the hip flexors as well, which bring your knee up. As many as you can, or 10, because 10's quite a lot after what we've done. And the 4, 3. Getting blood flow to it. 2 more. 1 more. It's a bugger. Good, rest it there. We're also on our sides. It would be rude not to. Work the sides, the obliques. So elbow directly under the shoulder. You are working on shoulder strength and stability here. So if you are aching, you can come in and out of it and just readjust. Make sure your elbow stays underneath your shoulder. Make sure you push your hips forward so you're all in one line. You're going to come all the way up and all the way down. We're going 15 to 20 or as many as you can. Tone in the sides of your stomach like this. Feel the stretch as your hips touch the mat again. Vandal. Another 10 if you can. 8, 7. I really want you to squeeze a curve in the sides of your stomach as well. It's like a crunch. Hips are stacked. Another 5 if you can. Notice where you're feeling this. It should be a burning sensation around the hip. Make sure your glute, the side of your bum cheek, isn't overtaking this exercise. 1 more. Good. Bottom knee comes forward, top knee back for a nice stretch. It's good for flexibility, working strength with a nice warm side of the muscle into a stretch. We work on flexibility. Knees down, touching the floor. Hips should be on the mat as well. Sit bones. Just leaning over. We're not forcing it, we're just pushing our body weight over. Good. I'm going to do all that again, starting with, so you can do less reps. Clamshells. Get off. Okay. Whenever you're ready, as many as you can. If it doesn't challenge it, it doesn't change it, as they say. Will you bug off? No, no, no. Do some downward dog. As many as you can. When you want to rest, go ahead. It's totally up to you. Shouldn't be painful, just a little bit of a burn. Another 5, 4. You're going crazy. A few seconds rest there. Lateral leg raises when you're ready. I see you. As many as you can. Stop and start as much as you need to. Once I've heard it, I can't unhear that now. Another 2. 1. Good, just pause a second, wait for that burning to go. Can you do that? See if he doesn't want to speak to you. Piriformis work next. As many as you can, or 10. Two more. Hey. Last one. Oh, well done. Ooh, Bernie, Bernie. No, 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 no. Side plank dips, last time on this side, as many as you can, or 15 to 20. I'm only saying 15 to 20 for those that have been doing these for quite a while. So want to make sure it's progressive and that you're able to build muscle. Don't forget that crunch at the top and the sides. Another 10 if you can, or break in between. Five, 4, 3, 2. Bottom knee comes forward, top knee back. That's stretch. Let's see if we can go a little bit deeper this time. And feel free to grab a drink as we move over to the other side. She's not done any downward dog yet. Okay, starting with clamshells. So we need to match the same as what you did the first 2 rounds. Making sure them hips are stacked on top of each other, as are the ankles and the knees. You squeeze, make sure you're actively squeezing the bum cheeks to bring that knee up and out. Another 10. Five, 4, 3, 1. Good. Lateral leg lifts. 15 to 20. Last 10. Make sure that knees still face forward, it's not coming out to the side at all. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can bend more at the knee. But try your best to match what you did on the first side if this is your weaker side. Last 3. Oh, 2. Good. Pause, wait for that burn to subside. Before we go into piriformis rehab, so if this is your left leg, it's also known as a sciatic sweep. External, internal, and forward sciatic sweep. Just your piriformis is sweeping past that sciatic nerve. Okay, so just be careful of this one. 10 max. Last 5. One more. Excellent. Making our way over, making sure the elbows directly under the shoulder. Extended child's pose. Coming 15 to 20, or as long as you match that first time with the other side. Walking downward dog. It's like her legs are fake. Eight left. 6. Don't forget that curve in the side of the stomach, that crunch. 2 more. 1. Oh, baby. Bottom knee comes forward, back knee top. Exhale as you push over, creating space between the rib cage and the hip on that stretched side. What's wrong? Deep breaths of an exhale, trying to let go and go further into that stretch. Good. Back to the starting position at round 1 of the other side. Sorry, yeah. Round 2 even. Notice what your mobility is like on this side. Can you get out as far? Is there clicking on this side? Good. Pausing at the top for a squeeze in the bum cheeks. 8. 6. 5. All this is working to strengthen and stabilising the pelvis. Great for any rehab if you've had children within a year or 30. 2, 1, lateral leg lifts. As many as you can, 15 to 20 being a goal. 3, 4. Making sure that knee stays forward. 6, 7, good. Last 8 if you can. 5, 3, 1. Good. Wait for that burning to subside before the last up to 10 piriformis work. External, internal, forward sweep. Squeezing your bum cheeks at that knee right up. Last 4. Done a lot of work on the pelvis, so you might feel these subtle muscles tomorrow. 2 more. Just take your time, try not to rush through it. 1 more. Oh. Well done. Last 15 to 20 or as many as you can. Even if you can only do 6, that's absolutely fine. Pushing the hips out, elbow directly under shoulder, and let's go. 5. Last 9 if you can. 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Good, well done. There's a lot there. Bottom knee forward for that stretch. Let's see if we can lean into that stretch a little bit further this time. Shoulders down away from ears. And sit bones into the mat. Excellent. Feel free to grab a drink as we move over to the core section. Core. Make your way over to the semi-supine position. We're going to do some relaxation breath work in between each core exercise, no repeats. So starting position, legs as straight as you can, even with a slight bend, so as long as you feel it in the upper thigh. Rib cage tucked in, belly button pushes down into the spine. So the spine is completely flat against the floor. So it's a bit like a plank. Have a poke around, make sure you've got tension in the full core. So the upper parts of the core is usually fine because we overwork them. But below the belly button and above that pubis bone is where I want to make sure there's tension. That's what's protecting your back. So shimmy your pelvis backwards so you're completely flat. I'm going to start with, so you can either keep your hands on your core to make sure connection's not lost, or you can have them by your side. Hip kicks to the ceiling, 15 to 20. So curving up and down in the lower back. Making sure your legs aren't really moving, it's just your hip. So you're not kicking or anything and extending and bending. It's just your hip leading. Curving all the way up and all the way down. Notice where you feel this, hopefully burning that lower core. Another 10. Hello. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You're making this harder. One more. Oh. Inhale, arms rise. In through the nose, pause at the top with full lungs before slowly exhaling through the lips. Slower, count of 4 on the exhale, slower than what you inhale. Do one more like that. Next, our shoulders come off the floor, going left to right, touching the heels or the ankles. Working the upper core and see if you can connect to your lower core. See if that connection's there yet. Looking for 20, 6, 7. Trying to keep the shoulders off the floor as you're looking left and right as you touch them ankles. 10, 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Inhale, arms rise. Pause at the top with those full lungs. Exhaling slowly for a count of 4 through the mouth. Pilates relaxation breath work. Another 2 like that. Using the diaphragm and the ribs as they expand to let that oxygen in. One more. Good. Legs extend up again, rib cage in, belly button to spine, back completely flat against the floor. Whilst your legs are up, you're just going to, for 15 reps, try and touch your toes or come up as high as you can. And keeping your legs up. They can be in more of a bend if that's easier for you. Best. 10, 9, 8, let it burn. Stop and start as much as you need to. 6, 5, 4, 3, all the way up, all the way down, 2 more, 1 more. Oh, well done. Inhale, arms rise. Last one. Good. This time, knees up in a bent tabletop, back flat, core switched on. I'm going to bring a little pulse in for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping your back flat and your abs are pushing against the mat to keep the back against it. 7, 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, arms rise. Two more. Last one. Good. Dead bug next. Arms and legs up. I'm going to bring in a small pulse forwards and backwards, keeping that back flat and keeping the tension and the core engaged. If you've got any questions about your core after, come and see me. Deep breaths. Going for 20. 7, 8. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Inhale, arms rise. One more. Excellent. This time I'll come into scissors. So I love this one because as you're swapping over legs, it really loads that lower core. So legs both straight as you can, and your knees coming to your nose as you swap over, crunching all the way up and all the way back down as you're swapping legs over. As many as you can, or 15. 9, 10. Out. 14. 15. And release. Good. Inhale, arms rise. One more. Excellent. Last core exercise, Pilates crisscross, also known as the bicycle crunch. So opposite knee to opposite elbow. As many as you can. Oh, baby. Good. Get a really good burning sensation. The more you look left and right, the more you're using the obliques as well, the sides of the stomach that we've just worked. I'm tired. As many as you can, or 30. You're almost there, Katie. 10, 9, 8. Come on, Claire. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Well done. Bring in some breath work. Inhale, arms rise. Last one. Good. Let's bring in some stretches now. Where's my iPad? Okay. Spinal twist. So back in the semi-supine. Knees come over to one side, stacking the hips on top. If that feels okay, go ahead and stretch out them arms the opposite way. Try and sink and melt into the mat. Well done. Try and let go of the tension above the hip, and the lower back, the sides. If you want to increase that stretch, you can extend and straighten that top leg. You can grab hold of the back of it with the other arm and then sink back in. But before you do that, sorry, I was meant to say, both of your shoulder blades should be on the mat. Keep sinking in. You might feel this stretch in the glute as well if you're tight there. Tell me all about it. What is it? One more deep breath, and on the exhale, let go a little bit further as you relax into it. Okay, carefully untuck that hand and move your feet over, and your knees over. Take your time, over to the other side now. Stack those hips. And settle into it before you increase that stretch. So make sure your shoulders are both on the floor. You can go ahead and hook that hand and extend that leg on the other side if that feels good. Two more deep breaths and sink in. Work to release that tension. It's very subtle and it takes a moment. Good. Carefully unhooking that arm. I'm going to bring our weight up into the seated position. It's a pigeon pose or a variation. So legs straight at the back. A bend in this knee. You should be feeling the glute stretch basically. We'll just sit here until we settle in. Yeah. Deep breaths. If that feels okay, you can come down onto your elbows. Increasing that stretch a little bit more in the glute, hopefully, feel that, in between the hips and around, hitting the piriformis. And if that feels okay, you can go ahead, if you can, put your forehead to the mat. And you'll notice you release even more tension when you do that. Relax the jaw. One more deep breath. What's Nana doing? Inhale, let's swap over as you're coming up. Taking your time as you swap over. And see how this side feels. Coming back onto your elbows, if that feels all right on this side. And forehead to mat if you can. I'm going to make our way over to the seated position. So any seated position that you find comfortable. There's a block up there if anybody wants it. I will get more blocks for Pilates, probably next week, if I remember. So we're going to work on some pranayama breath work. You feel free to do the Pilates breath work and just sit with how your body feels and just sit with your breath and just concentrate on the counts of 4 inhale, 4 exhale. If you want to do alternate nostril breathing with me, feel free. So we're going to bring our attention to our breath. So as we inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, so it's nice and warming. Just take a moment to use your belly. As you inhale and you're filling that belly full, like a big Buddha's belly, you're pushing it out. And then as you inhale, you're also creating space between each rib. As you use the diaphragm and your chest rises on the inhale. On the exhale, you feel it all go down, one by one. So alternate nostril breathing. So we've got these two fingers, your index finger and your thumb on your right hand. You're going to close over your right nostril and completely exhale through the left nostril. For a count of 4. Then you're going to inhale fully through the left nostril and then close it over. And then exhale through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril for 4. Close it over and exhale through the left nostril. Continue this. If you'd like to close your eyes as well. It feels like you've had a little mini nap when you open them again. So what this does, it lights up the left side and the right side of your brain. It's really relaxing. Helps speak to the peripheral nervous system, get you out of that fight, flight, stress responses. And the slower, because you're concentrating on your breath and the counts of 4 in and 4 out, you're not thinking about your to-do list, anything that's happened or annoyed you this week. Pulls you back to the present. The slower you exhale, the more relaxing it's going to be. I want you to keep going whilst I play the singing bowl. Big breaths, using that diaphragm. We don't do that when we're stressed, and that stresses us out even more. Don't you're after. And see if you can do a breath of count of 5 inhale, a count of 5 exhale, and you can pause for 2 if that feels good. You can control your breath. Namaste, thank you everyone for coming today. Hope to see you next week. Right, we can play the singing bowl now, if that's what you want. She's getting more curious at everything, isn't she?